Hi, I'm Essie.
And I'm Elle.
Welcome back to Magic and Mayhem.
Okay, hello. So, we are doing the Cliterature Readathon, which the Cliterature Readathon is a readathon hosted by Steph at Steph Loves, who will be linked in the description box, as always. So, it actually was a couple weeks ago, but we were on a break last week, so that is why we're doing the wrap up now of how we did. So, Cliterature Readathon is just a readathon where you focus on romance books, so it doesn't have to be only romance, it can be like fantasy romance or just any book that has a romance plot in there somewhere. So it does not have to be straight up like contemporary romance. So, and there was a bingo board. This is a beautiful bingo board. I'm going to insert it because beautiful bingo board that Steph created for this. So obviously the goal is to get a bingo. Steph rules do say you can use a book more than once. We just chose not to because we like pain. So we only use each book once.
We did have an original TBR.
Oh, yeah. About that.
We were like, oh, this is great. We'll pick out our books and then we'll just go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That surely happened. So as far as the books we plan to read, they'll also be on screen, but we'll kind of walk through them quickly. So as far
yours,
as far as what I was going to read, Take a Hike, Mimi Grace, Food of Friends by Kathy Yardley, Heartbreak Bakery by A.R. Capetta, I think. You Had Me at Happy Hour by Timothy Janowski. There's Something About Sweetie by Sanya Menlem. Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. And The Dane Playbook by Farah Roshan. And Only Forever by Chloe Leese. I forgot how many that I was planning to read. That is all of them. Okay. There was, I think, 7 or 8 in that stack that I was planning to read. Yes. I'm realizing how abysmally I did at actually reading that list. But, so as far as what you were going to read,
my original plan was Yumi and the Night Painter by, of course, Brandon Sanderson. Feather So Black, Lyra Sleason, or whatever. The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Mercy by Ian Haramaki. Yeah, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Always Human, Ari North. Love and Gravity. Again, Ari North. And
yeah. Leave that in. Just the end. So that was the plan.
It didn't entirely go to plan. Also, my ambition for saying Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
That was very ambitious.
And Feather So Black in the same assumption that I could get both of those
in a week.
and the rest.
The rest of the books, yeah. That was, yes, you were very brave.
I was overly ambitious.
Okay, so we'll start with one I actually did read that was on my TBR, which was for the summer prompt. I did Take a Hike by Mimi Grace. So this was my second Mimi Grace book. I still really enjoyed it. I think I do like What a Match a little bit better, but this was very cute. This is about a woman who inherits a company that she didn't even know existed when someone passes away, and the people that work there do not want her to own the company. They want, one of them in particular wants to buy the company from her, and she decides she doesn't want to decide right now, and she wants to just hang out and see what it's like. It doesn't go over well in the beginning, so it was cute. I enjoyed it.
I did Spring, and for that one it was Time Bound, which was not on my original TBR.
Most of mine aren't either.
And the author is Risa Walker. There's lots, obviously, of time jumping and people out of time. There are lots of characters who shouldn't exist in the time that they are in, and there they are anyway. There were actually some sad moments in this. Without giving anything away, the main character, there are these things that happen, and people who are sensitive, they're born sensitive to time, and if these time shifts happen, they remember the past, but no one else does. And so the current people remember whatever the new thing is, while they still can remember the old one. The main characters, sadly for them, in some cases in the time shift, people who were valuable to them don't remember them anymore.
Oh, that's
So
sad.
it is kind of sad. There obviously is romance in it, which was fine. It was good.
One I did was a pull pick, and I pulled 2 people, but hey, you know what? That's what I could get. So I did Good Friends by Kathy Yardley. Oh, this was actually on my TBR as well. Woo, go me!
One is.
I thought I only had one. There's 2. The overwhelming desire to say this was cheesy.
Of course, you have the desire.
I mean, it was though. It was very cute. It was a friends to lovers, which is actually one of my favorite tropes. I love the main character. She is petty, and I love her for that. Dumping her boyfriend over some cheese, which honestly relatable. Wasn't the only reason, but that was the straw that broke
Don't
the camel's
mess with
back.
the cheese, man.
No, she loves her cheese.
I can't even think. Who was it that said you can impress a woman by giving her cheese?
Right? I don't remember who said it, but I remember that quote. If I can find it, I'll put it up. How about that? I loved her. She was hilarious. I kind of thought it wasn't a third act breakup, but it was like just talk to each other. I don't know. I thought it still ended well. Again, don't like it as much as some of our other books that I've read, but it is still really cute, and I still really like the trope. So
okay, then for POC author, I did Juliet Takes a Breath. And actually for the almost the entire book of this, I was like, I don't quite understand the title. Like, what does it have to? But then at the end, you finally are like, oh, okay. Like it's a great story. It made me sad though.
you picked a lot of sad ones.
Well, I mean, things work out well, and I'm for one of the romances I'm all in for. There were multiple relationships in this, some good, some not, and the ones that are not good do go away.
Yay!
So I was here for that, but I was so sad for the main character a lot of the time. People in the main character's life, a lot of them are not great.
Oh, sucks.
And so you're just like, I was perpetually saddened on their behalf.
Yeah.
Because she's finding out who she is. It's a coming of age story, and also a queer coming of age story, and it's a coming out story to your family and anyone really that matters to you. Finding your feet as a baby gay, and but I think, as you would imagine, that didn't always go superbly for the main character. I was disappointed with a lot of the characters that were surrounding her life.
Yeah.
So, without giving anything away, there were some characters I was like, oh, great, we've got a good. Oh, we don't have a good one. Nope. Well, and some of them truly were horrible, and she learns to overcome her disappointment with people, and so that makes me happy in the story. But yeah, I feel like you better watch the triggers just in case. I feel like be slightly careful going into it, but it's a beautiful story. It's most assuredly worth the read.
So for short read, I read Am I the Asshole? I was a little unsure going into this book because I am not a smut reader. I don't mind spicy scenes. I just don't really like just straight smut. I like some plot, and I was a little bit nervous that that was what this was going to be. It's not. There is a plot, which was very cute. A couple that are engaged, and the guy wants to summon a demon to have supposedly a threesome with, but really he just wants to sleep with the demon. Let's be real, because apparently that's a thing you can do in this world. And they say demon, but I don't know if it's really. I don't know.
Kind of Fae-esque.
Yeah, and he gets his fiance really drunk to get her to agree, and so they got to do it, and the demon that they summon is not what they expected. We'll put it that way. And but the demon ends up being interested in the woman, not the guy, which understandable,
Definitely.
especially because the guy is a dick. But anyway, it kind of goes from there. I don't want to say too much because it is a pretty short story, but definitely had more plot than I was expecting, and it was good. But it was good. I actually wanted worse things to happen to the fiance, the guy fiance, and his family because they're all horrible.
Lovely.
But and it is also a little bit of a figuring out who you actually are, not who people want you to be.
Yeah.
So which I like that, but it was good. It was
So
better.
that one was almost like my Juliet one.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do a new to you trope, but the only ones I could find I didn't want. So I didn't do that.
Right. Same.
And I was also going for the summer box, and I was going to have Mercy be in that summer box. Didn't do that either.
I haven't been saying what I didn't do because I forgot at this point.
Yeah, it didn't happen. So instead, I also did poll pick.
Yay!
And I skewed the results in my favor. A slight.
She didn't say you
Blah.
couldn't do that. Just said perfect.
Yes. So then I did Time's Edge again by Risa Walker. It's number 2 in the series. So Time's Edge. This one was a lot even darker than I was expecting.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the story, well, because it's about what you could do if you were a very evil person and you could time travel.
Huh.
And so, what one of the people who can time travel does is create this cult where they are a god.
Of course they did.
Yeah, of course. It's really.
Because why not?
Yes. And it's not that it's such an original idea. It's
Oh.
It's definitely not. And
No.
everyone with an ounce of common sense is like, seriously? But yes, that is what happened. And since they could time travel, obviously they could do things. They could do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And so the main character and company are attempting to clean up the mess that this so called god has made throughout history, chasing them around, trying to prevent and stop and cause slightly less death, prevent death on the mass scales. This one still has romance. It has multiple romance, especially in the second book. You might want to be careful if you find cult stuff triggery, because there's a lot of that, and all the lovely things that go into cults that are explored in the book. So, and about the romance, um, it's still cute, and that's it. That's all I have to say, really.
So next I did the LGBTQ plus, and I chose A Marvelous Light. But I chose to do this one because about halfway through the week I was getting a little burnt out on just straight up romance. So I went with this one, which is a historical fantasy romance. And it was really good. So this guy, by an administrative error, gets put into this office that he knows nothing about, doesn't know what he's doing, finds out that magic is a thing, and magicians are a thing, and is understandably like, what? And then the guy that was in the office before him, they found out he was murdered.
Oh.
And so then they're trying to figure out why and who's behind it and all this. And there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. But it was So good. I had such a good time.
I remember you deeply enjoying this
I was
one.
deeply enjoying this one, yes. I love the two main characters. So Robin is the one that gets appointed to a random office, and then the other character, Edwin, is the liaison between the magicians and non-magicians that work in that office. And I love them both so much. No, they did not at first like each other, but it was really good. It was really cute. I am excited to read the second one, which follows Robin's sister. So, and there's no like wrap up at the end of the first one. So, if you prefer a wrap up, you're not really gonna get it. It's very obviously just leading into the second one. Although there are so many people I wanted to punch in the face. So many people. I'm like, die, die. Oh, they didn't die.
It is always really tragic when you really, really want to see them die and then they don't.
They don't die. I loved it. It was a great time.
I also did short read, and for that one, I did, of course, Grandmaster of Demonic. And of course, this did not, since this particular one is the manhwa adaptation, because I thought the art was pretty and I wanted to read it. And so, in my defense, though there was no romance whatsoever in this one, I know in the series there's romance, and I was not aware that there wasn't romance in the first um book chapter volume. Yeah. And so that wasn't my fault.
There is romance in it.
It's later,
so it
obviously,
counts.
but in this one there isn't really any romance. But that is, I stand by, it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
This is super cute and entertaining and funny, and also the art is absolutely fantastically gorgeous. And I think I must say my favorite character is the donkey. However, so far, I like the main character too, but the donkey won me over immediately. Really, there's not much else I can say because I think everything else would be too spoilery.
Probably.
So that's all you're getting.
Yay!
Is you can take away that you should like the donkey.
Oh, take part in a sprint. We both did that.
We both did do that.
We both took part in a sprint. Although you got up at like hella early in the morning to do it, didn't you?
I did. Well, actually, one
Twice.
time I did it twice because the the first time I attempted it was the one time that the sprints were canceled.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dang.
So you had to get early again.
Yes. So, my first attempt at participating did not go well, but my second one was successful.
Yay. I only tried the once, and I was.
You were successful.
I was successful. I'm not gonna lie though, it was like 6:30 in the morning, and I stayed on the sprint until I fell asleep again. But I was there. I was talking to people when I was awake. I might have fallen back asleep again.
I admit I did not talk to anyone because I generally never talk to anyone on
That's
sprints.
true. You don't talk on sprints.
I just lurk. That is my only function.
You are a lurker, yeah.
I am. I am there to be a number, and that is all.
You enjoy them too.
I think I've talked on a total of one sprint, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Throughout history.
I think I talk on every sprint I'm on.
The difference between us yet again.
But I want them to feel supported.
I know. I just never. I don't know. It's just.
You don't have to.
Doesn't work for my brain most of the time. I mean, if I have something to say, I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise.
Well, that also tracks because I talk a lot more than you. I have more to say. So for Pink and Red on the cover, this one I changed too, but I did read the book I was originally going to read for Pink and Red on the cover, which was Good of Friends. But I read They Were Roommates. This was cute. This wasn't quite what I was expecting. Yeah, it was really like angsty and delightful in the beginning, but it dragged forever. Honestly, it should have just ended at the halfway mark, or 60% in my opinion. And then all the stuff at the end was bad. Like nothing good happened. Like everything in the last 40% of the book was just like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, and I'm like, okay, I get it, enough. Like, I don't know, because they did have stuff they had to like work through in the beginning too. So it wasn't like it was all like smooth sailing in the beginning. That's why I was like, if you just like ended it at like the 60% mark, I think it would have been great. But it just went on forever. It took me so much longer to read than it really should have. And yeah. But I mean, I did really like the first half, so whatever that is. And I love the roommate trope as well. Any kind of forced proximity, but especially roommates. I love it. But
there's a reason it's popular. I also did LGBTQ plus, and for that one, I read one that Essie has been desirous of me reading for some time. So this is Ever After.
in fairness, I was begging her to do a reread because she DNF'd it.
I did DNF it, yes.
So, and I was like, you need to reread it.
Well, the problem was the first time it was not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And so it kind of messed up my, I guess, interpretation of it, my perception.
Yeah, there you go.
Since it wasn't what I went in expecting, it was so polarly opposite to what I was expecting it to be. And so then I was very disillusioned and I gave it up, DNF'd it. And actually, when you picked it up originally, I told you not to because I was like, no, that was terrible.
Yeah, you did tell me not to. And I was the contrary little human that I am.
You were always contrary, and of course you read it, and you did like it quite a lot.
I did.
And so, well, I mean, even at the time, I was like, well, actually, you might like it. Yeah. Even though I hated it and DNF'd it, you might like it because that's how that goes. And in fact, that was how that went.
It was. I enjoyed it.
And so this time I did not DNF the book.
Yay.
I read the whole thing. And I did like it considerably better than I liked it the first time.
Yay!
After my expectations had been fully adjusted. It was a cute story. It's still not my favorite.
Yeah, I would assume it would be a favorite, but I thought it deserved better than a DNF.
It did deserve better than a DNF. One of the tropes in it is still never going to be one that I like. You know I don't like that trope.
I forgot it was in there.
But it didn't ruin it this time. I was expecting it, and even if I will never appreciate the trope that is in this book, it was still good.
The rest of the book was good.
Also, the relationships between everybody was really cute, and the like deep found family that was going on with all the characters, even aside from the romantic elements. I really appreciated that the second time. I was entertained even the first time by the wizard.
The wizard was funny.
It was like, oh wow.
The wizard was funny.
Just went around giving prophecies, whether or not he believed them to be true or not. Like,
let's try it and see what happens.
You know, let's Russian roulette. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll die. I don't know. And when they find that out,
and it just happened to be one that worked.
He's like, yeah, this one, I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. I am glad that I've read it now, especially since you like it. So I am pleased that I didn't DNF it the second time.
Yeah. What's my next one? Oh, it's autumn. So for autumn, I actually didn't have one picked out for this, I don't think. But I read So We Meet Cute Again. This was very cute. So these two characters apparently live close to each other, so they keep running into each other over and over and over again. And each one thinks the other one's cute, but like they don't. For a while, they don't even talk. They're not close enough to even talk to each other. And then they have like a super cliche meet cute, and they comment on the fact that it's super cliche meet cute, but that it was really funny. And then they end up talking or whatever. And it's just very simple and it's very cute. And it's just them, after that, like, slowly kind of getting to know each other and both being, like, a little hesitant. But the meet and cutes were absolutely adorable. Oh, yeah. But ending was kind of, it was kind of meh for me. I don't, because the beginning was so solid with all the meet cutes, so they were adorable and they were really well done. And the ending was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Endings are hard though.
I have so many books I've read this month have been like great until the ending, and like very few have been sticking the ending this month, and I don't know what's going on.
Endings are tough.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what's going on this month. I don't normally read so many in a row that are like that, but
I also did pink or red on the cover. I hope this doesn't find you. By yeah, it struck me as entertaining because all the
I
in
hope this
business.
finds you
I hope this
well.
finds you well, and you're like, I hope this didn't
Doesn't
find me. I would rather this never found me. I didn't want it to find me, but but yes, I hope this doesn't find you. Is the main character is one of well, she's a big, gigantic people pleaser.
Ah,
And she just kind of, especially in the beginning, she just lets people walk all over her. She's really, really smart, and so like in class, people make her do all the group assignments, the dreaded group assignments, which I identified because this happened to me as well. And you do the assignment for everyone because no one else did it.
And you don't want a bad grade.
And you don't want a bad grade, which is also her thing. But she makes the grave mistake
Oh no.
of she doesn't say any of her thoughts to the person, but which she never intends to send these, but she'll draft an email to them telling them exactly what she thinks.
Oh no. Oh no. This is not gonna go well.
But she never intends for the send button to occur.
But it does. I'm sure.
And there's a massive amount of fallout that occurs.
Yeah, I imagine.
Because of course she doesn't intend to send this, so she vents her frustration. Which, she has reason to be frustrated.
Yeah, but never put in writing.
No, and so she, reads her classmates to filth.
Which, I mean, kind of sounds like they deserve it.
They
Then.
absolutely deserved it, but in a spectacular fashion, truly. She reads her rival to a lot of filth. Because there is this other top classmate who, of course, they're always in competition. Of course, this is not breaking the mold in any way.
No, but it's still cute.
So it is basically rivals to lovers, whatever. Not enemies per se, because it didn't go quite that far. They weren't trying to kill each other. They were just trying to outclass each other and outgrade and the whole thing. So is this breaking any molds? It is not, but it is entertaining regardless. It's also a coming into yourself story because she's a super people pleaser and at a certain point she's just like screw you all. It is honestly pretty cute. I even approved of the romance. I know it is very shocking, but it's cute though. One of the few straight up also straight romances that I would actually fully give my full endorsement to. I know. And my final one is Always Human. That one actually I managed to get one from the TBR. Yay! This was a friend recommendation / friend force. Yes, the evil laughter gives away who that was.
I don't know who that could have been.
No.
It's a mystery.
But this one is kind of sci-fi, more or less. And they're based in this futuristic atmosphere where you can kind of mod anything, including yourself. There's fashion mods, there's health mods, there's this, that, and the other. There's two main characters, and one of them has a condition where they cannot take mods. And these two characters meet and fall for each other, and it's cute. And I didn't read the second one. I was planning to, but I only got to the first one. So I'm only partway in to this romance, but it was good. It was cute. The art is also really pretty, and you have one of them is very tech savvy, programming savvy. The other one's very also tech savvy, but artistic. And the one character's little brother is a chaotic mass of chaos, and it was entertaining. And also, those siblings should probably be in different hemispheres in order to coexist well.
And it's fun.
It is. It is. So there you go. That's my full reading. I enjoyed all of them.
So that was how the Cliterature Readathon went. I think it went really well, actually.
It did.
I read more than I expected to.
And we didn't necessarily really have any like bombs or
Yeah,
anything.
nothing that was like a DNF or like a 1-star. Although the next Final Book Support Group is already coming up, it is going to be
Very soon. Yes.
I'm not sure if we're going to do an episode about it, but we are going to participate at the very least. So that'll be fun. And also, next month is GA Book Roast, or Magical Readathon. I really am. So we're going to attempt.
Yeah, well, we've already more or less, we've technically created 3 characters, but each basically
3?
almost,
yeah.
Almost. And we haven't quite decided what we're
Well,
going
I started
to.
with 4. I'm down to 2. So
I'm still debating on 3.
okay. Well, that's fair. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes once that starts. But that is the entire month of September. So, and it does technically start usually in the spring, but G has said you can join anytime. I will also leave G's announcement video for the autumn equinox down below as well. We are going to attempt to do that. So it's going to be a busy readathon month.
It is going to be busy
next month. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be interesting. But so that actually I think will be our next episode will be the TBR for September, October.
So that's what we've got for you. Thanks for listening to Magic and Mayhem. All right, bye.